Welcome back to Wilson's Heart. Last time, we had an unfortunate encounter with Lucy. Well, can't go that far, can't go there. In the accounting section, where we found out that Lucy was a vampire. Also, previous to that, Elsa was kidnapped by a very large being. And now Wilson's on his own again as he's entered a new area.
No talent anymore.
Wilson, the art critic, apparently, does not think much of these paintings. But here is the area that we've now entered, the Prosthetic Workshop.
Huh. The welcome wagon, huh?
All right, St. John of the Cross, artificial limbs. So they have... This hospital has everything. It has a big workshop that they use to construct and presumably research wooden prosthetics. Top of the line.
I haven't seen equipment like this before.
At this point in time, I would expect not many people would have seen things like this.
Just a dummy.
Well, what else was it going to be? Ring bell for service. Well, it's not surprising that there's no one here. Aside from our friend right here. But he can't help us, unfortunately. It does say, sorry, we're closed, so what did we expect? You can still help. Use your experience. Civilian defense needs you. You can walk back out into the hallway.
Locked.
It always is. But that's fine. We don't need to go back. We need to go forward. And if it's locked, I mean, presumably Lucy can't come in here. Because she's still out there. She flew away, crashing out the window. We don't know where she went. Take care. Keep your prosthetics maintained, clean, and dry, and they will last as long as you do. Oh, a new comic. Young women, nurses are needed. You are needed too. Prepare for nursing by entering training schools. Just taking a look around. Help a disabled veteran. 4 quarters a month can improve a veteran's quality of life. Donate today. All right, let's take a look at this comic. And to take a look at the comic, I'm going to want to get my hand steadying chair as usual.
Supposed to be for kids.
I'd say a number of the comics in this hospital have not been for kids. Comic Jumper 2 coming soon. That was an actual comic book? No, video game. Comic Jumper was a video game. I'm pretty sure. I did not play it, but that sounds familiar. All right, let's have a look at this new comic. Marshall, wake up. I think it's an earthquake. What? Whoops. Okay, don't panic. Quick, get under the door jamb. Where's all the light coming from? I'm going to see if I can... No! Get back from... Vivian! Something crashes through. We can't really see what. What? I'm talking a little bit too close to the borders here. Let me get a little further away. What in the... Seeing a lot... Why is that happening? Hold on. Where can I stand so when I lean in it doesn't do that? Okay, that's fine. What in the big shadowy creature in the distance with tentacles? Vivian, can you hear me? Marshall, my leg is broken. Marshall, I'm hurt. I need help. Oh dear, Marshall, there's something down here. Vivian. Can't really see what's happening down there. I'm coming, Vivian. Looks like Dad's old pistol will finally come in handy. Just need to get out of here and go downstairs. But something's banging at the door. What in the... Blar! Mrs. Norris, is that you? Those hair rollers. It must be her. No, stop. Stay back. Humph. Sweet mother, what is this stuff? It burns. Gotta get it off. Yes, Mrs. Norris spat some kind of bile on his hand. Gotta get it off. I don't think it's coming off. It hurts. Is it spreading? Oh no! He hears something. Vivian? And his face is getting all messed up. I forgot. She needs me. Thoughts getting cloudy. Can't worry about myself right now. The hand will have to wait. I'm coming, Vivian. Just get to the street. Ignore pain. Something coming up fast. No, it can't be. That nightgown. Oh, God, Vivian, no! Don't make me shoot! As it goes, blah, 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 blah. I believe that's what the text says back there. Please! Bang, bang, splort, splat, goes Vivian's head. No, stop, get back. Bullets have no effect. I can't stop it. The window! My only hope for escape as he smashes through. Both of his legs break on the way down. That's it, my legs are broken. Darkness closing in. Can't. Hard to focus. How many bullets? Only need one. Please. Blam.
Well, that didn't cheer me up.
Daddy, that man, he just... Don't look, baby. His problems are over now. But ours are just getting started. That's quite a short one. Not an uplifting tale of some sort of cosmic horror attacking a town. But something that will cheer Wilson up is the super grab bag, only 98 cents. Cutlery, jewelry, novelties, pens, nylons, auto parts, gems, figurines, cameras, ancient relics. I was saying relics and artifacts at the same time. Ancient relics. Potential item 225 values up to potential item values up to 2.25 million. I don't think that's true. I don't think you're going to get something like that in there. I like this comic. It's short and there's not much to it, but I like the art. The thing I think is neat about it is that when it starts off, the panels are all, rectangles and squares with straight, sharp lines. And it continues like that until you get to here, where the lines start to get squiggly and messy, and they're not perfect squares anymore. And you have the tentacles overlapping the panel lines. And as you get to this page, the panel lines just vanish entirely. And it's like it's multiple panels, but there's no line separating them anymore. It's just one big mass of biology. And then when you get to the last page and you get a different person's perspective, now the panel lines are back again. I thought that was a little neat effect. So not much story in this one, but I think the art is very good. And, well, not an uplifting tale. The Door to Dimension Z. Not about one of our friends, either. Doesn't give us any insight to any of the characters. Okay, if you need a full body replacement, here you go. Though you're probably in a pretty bad... I don't know. If you need a full body replacement, I don't know if this wooden body is going to do it for you. You might need a little bit more help than that. Prosthetic development area. Okay, let's take a look.
Need to find another way.
Yeah, this is locked. What about in here?
This way.
Need to back up and reorient because I'm banging my chair. Let's pull this up. Crawl on through.
See you later, Woody.
They really do have everything in this hospital. Health B says, be clean, be well, wash your hands. Work together. United, we... Can't see what's on the end of that. Simple Dan, every day he breaks a tool. Oh, Simple Dan's wearing the dunce cap.
Pointer Craft Pro Series. That's nice.
Wilson enjoys a good power tool, it seems. But nothing to cut at the moment. Compositions. This is in some cursive. Well, no, where's my chair? Here we go. Read someone's journal. I'm thinking of asking Heather out this Friday. She's pretty, though. I don't know if she would be interested or not. Maybe I should bring her flowers to increase my chances? All girls like flowers, right? So where should I take her for our date? Maybe a stroll on the beach or maybe Lookout Point? That might scare her away. Have to play it smooth. She's such a swell lady. I do hope she says yes. I'm going to have to build up more courage for this? Well, that was a disaster. What does that say? She tells me she has a boyfriend, but I know she does not. I overheard her talking with the other nurses about wanting to find a good guy. Well, here I am, lady. She could be happy with me. I don't just I don't just do just know. I just know it. Oh well, maybe I will ask Sally out again. She's not as something as Heather, but at least she something a good guy when she sees one, knows a good guy. Well, guess something back. I don't know. Here's some drawings, some sketches. Need better hook grasp mechanism. Needs padding to prevent rubbing. Pivot up to 110 degrees. Universal socket for prosthetic options. Needs strong yet flexible material. New idea. Flexible leg. New combination. 57264. It happened again. I'm certain that at the display dummy was placed over near the door, but he keeps getting moved back to front of the office. Who is moving him? He's really starting to creep me out. Next time he gets moved over here, I will turn him into firewood. Must be losing my mind. I think the dummy hurts. The dummy's head turned since I last looked at him. He was facing the wall, and now he something at me. I mean, he doesn't have eyes, but it feels like he's looking at me. I need to get out of here and something. I must need sleep. Calling it quits for now, hoping something will be where I left him. That was a rough day. That grumpy old guy, Frank, came in here complaining about at a leg piece again. I've made adjustments. Something. He's not happy with it. After my lunch break, Hank said he's retiring in December. Looks like it would be just me and that dummy in here from now on. Speaking of, I swear that dummy is getting moved when I'm not looking. Every day I come in, he seems to be moved closer and closer. I'm going to do an experiment tonight. I'll move him by the door and see if he moves again. How strange. Also, there's a combination in here. Also, there's a glowing line. Can I get that? There we go. Well, clearly, whoever's writing this is not happy with their job or life in general. A radio?
Welcome to another edition of Science Hour for kids. Now, let's sneak a peek at what Professor
I love science.
cooking in the lab. What are we going to learn today, Professor Whizbang? I'm glad you asked, Timmy. Today we're going to experience the exciting reaction between an acid and a base. Nifty, if you will observe. I've created a small volcano out of paper mache. This is something you kids can do at home with a little glue and newspaper. Don't forget, get your parents' help. And don't use the sports pages until Dad is finished with them. What now, Professor? Now, we pour in a little baking soda. Then we add some vinegar with just a touch of red food coloring. Science! Your very own Mount Vesuvius. I saw one of those at my school science fair. I'm sure you did, Timmy. But I bet you didn't see this at school. Gee, that sure is a big bottle, Professor. Here you go, Timmy. Why don't you pour the next one? What is this? A very special acid. Hydrochloric acid. Go on, pour it in. Okay. Uh-oh. Looks like Timmy forgot to wear his protective goggles. It hurts! It hurts! I'm not hit! I'll be... Science!
Oh, science. Science is fun, but also can be dangerous. Let that be a lesson for you. Maybe you'll be a bit more careful in the lab.
No good.
Alright, there's a big door to the side of us. This button's not working. Well, the button's doing something, but it's not opening the door. Alright, well, we just got the combination here. There's another button inside this cage. Not the first time we've seen one of these combination locks.
There we go.
There we go. Open and in. On the job, off the job, it's up to you to prevent mishaps. No mishaps around here. We run a tight ship here at the hospital.
Great. Both at once.
Alright, so to open this door, two people need to do it. One inside the cage and one out. Well, this is a harder situation than the last time we needed two people, because Lucy was with us. This time Wilson's on his own. How is he going to hit both buttons by himself? You hear some music playing. I guess it's coming from that radio over there. Alright, we now have a different angle that we can look at our wooden friend here.
All right,
Right.
Woody. Got a job for you.
Alright, looks like Wilson's got a plan. It's funny because Wilson might have an idea of how to do something, and you might not really know what it is he's doing, but, you know, you don't really matter here. Wilson knows what to do. 1, 2, and go.
Okay, good.
We got him across into the workshop. We also took his wheelchair into the workshop with us. Alright, let's head on over to the work table.
Easy.
Get him on there. Alright, well, we have him on there. What are we doing? It's still maybe not entirely clear. But we can look at a note over here. Robert, Mr. McNulty's limb needs to have its pull arm shortened by 1/4 inch and a rough spot in the socket filed down. He'll be back for Thursday morning. Thanks, Kyle.
Yeah, this might work.
Alright, so this limb belongs to Mr. McNulty, but, I mean, he'll have to do without. We need it for now. I don't think there's anything we can do from this space. Let's head back to the workbench. So we can grab his arm.
All right, Woody. Time for your operation.
Alright, we didn't have anything to cut before, but we have something now. Alright, his stump has a socket in there. And this thing has the same kind. So that just goes right in there. And okay, yeah, we can push him back into the wheelchair. I feel like at this point it's a little unclear as to why we needed to mount a hook to his hand. But we did. Let's bring him over to the cage. Take him to the cage and take him over to the button. Alright. Grab his hook hand.
Yeah.
And up he goes. Right. So that's why we did that. To get him hanging from there, so his motorized arm will hit that button. Just noticed that sign over there. Hey! Get to work! Well, I mean, not with that attitude.
Gotta time it just right.
Yeah, at the same time...
There.
Did it.
Nice job, Woody.
Nice job.
What's happening? What's happening? No. Jake, stop it. You've got my arm. How can you be? You want more? No way, pal.
He's coming. We gotta go.
Gotta get out of here.
Alright, we closed the door behind us. But there are more of them moving around. Those ones hanging there are also moving around. Alright. We've entered the Wood Puppets level from Illbleed, but we're now only one arm is wood puppeted. It's not a wood covering either. Our entire arm was replaced with a wooden arm, and Woody over there has our real arm, and wants the rest of us as well. Well, I guess the only thing to do is just keep going. Well, he's coming. That down?
Come on! Work, goddammit.
So Wilson's in a... He's never been in a good situation so far. But the situation seems like it's getting worse. These fingers are all joined together. We can't... I don't have any articulation. I mean, fortunately, our wrist is on this ball joint, but our fingers and hand does not have any articulation. So I can't grab this with my right hand, only my left. Well, this part of the hospital looks like it's under construction. Well, on the bright side, at least Woody can't use that elevator to come up after us. Well, there's another power tool. Another workbench. We can't interact with this one, though. And even if we could, what would we do with it? A wall? Nothing we can do here at the moment.
Not getting through here anytime soon.
Alright, we got a wood puppet getting electrocuted over there. And it's all wet in the middle of the floor. We can't walk over to him. But we can go out the window.
You could do this.
Well, we're on some scaffolding way above the ground. We're quite high up from the outside of the hospital. Well, it turns out the scaffolding is in real bad condition. It cannot hold Wilson's weight for long, so we're gonna have to go pretty quick.
You could do this.
Yeah, just don't pay attention to the collapsing scaffolding.
Don't look down. No!
Ah, bats.
Shit.
But, I mean, we can't pay attention to those at the moment. We're kind of in a race against time. Alright, let's get inside. So looking at this guy, parts of him are flesh. Like this arm that's getting electrocuted, that's skin. And that arm, I'm pretty sure his fingers are moving. He has articulated fingers, so that's a real arm. And that leg is human. So this guy, he's been taking some parts here and there. I guess that's why he's being electrocuted, because if it was just his wooden parts, it wouldn't matter so much. Alright, we got some fuses. Remember, the human parts can get electrocuted, but the wood? That's alright. There we go. Get him out. Get him out of there? Yeah, just give him a bonk. There we go. Hopefully, whoever has those those human parts, hopefully they won't need them back, because I don't think they're getting them.
Could do some damage with this.
All right, this is just a big old fist. This is the Fisto fist from He-Man. Remember Fisto? His power was he had a big metal fist, and he punched people. He fisted everyone with his big fist. It was incredible. How could you not like Fisto? The man who would fist. Alright, we're back. Yeah, we're back at the workbench. We can put this here.
No, come on.
Yeah, this doesn't look like it's in good condition. But we can look in these drawers.
Come on. Suck
Well,
up.
gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. Must feel kind of weird doing that. Alright, we got a wooden stump now. It's not bleeding or anything. There's no veins. And now?
There.
Alright, we mounted our big metal fist. What are we going to do with that? Well, looks like the Wilson Express. The Wilson Express just got an upgrade. Choo-choo. See, when life gives you lemons, you gotta make lemonade. Sometimes that lemonade involves mounting a big metal fist to your arm. Alright, we're being attacked by wood puppets. They're coming. They're armed.
You're scrap.
But so are we. Alright, it did quite well. Turns out metal beats wood, I suppose. Alright, turns out that this fist is really a key. Doing a good job of getting us through these obstacles. Ha! Ah, our hearts, our orb is beating. You know, we haven't actually used this in this section yet. We've been so concerned about our arm, which is getting damaged. This metal hand is getting bent. But we haven't actually used the ball for anything. Let's turn that light on. There we go.
Oh, God. I'm turning you into sawdust. Get used to this.
Well, we could get used to it. Unfortunately, our metal fist is now split. It has been taking a good deal of damage as we've been doing this.
Always something.
Yeah, it may still be a big chunk of metal, but it's just not in a good enough shape to bust through this wood anymore. Well, we can just jump over this ledge. Anything around us? Doesn't seem so.
Only one way down.
Alright, looks like we're going to jump down to a lower floor. Does not seem like there's anything else to look at around here. Alright, looks like we're gonna have to jump. As we land on our feet. The comic book. Improbable paper pals. Who is this guy? Jeepers, I'm sunk. And where is the origami kid? Who is the mistress of the museum? I don't know. Will we find out? Well. Can't turn the page. How will we know about what happens in the mayhem at the museum? What's on the back of that? I'm needed to learn how to draw. Well, unfortunately for us, we do not have a right hand with which we can turn the pages. What a mystery as to what could possibly happen at the museum, but we will never know. There are hundreds of injured workers out there that say to themselves, if only I had done it properly. Work smart. A disabled man needs no pity, he needs a job, according to the poster. Face the future. Uncle Sam offers training to every man disabled in the line of duty. Make sure your man takes it. Yeah, we can't actually read this. If you're wondering, is there a way to read this? I don't think you can. I'm pretty sure it's there as a joke, to note that you can't actually turn the pages.
Need to call the elevator up.
Yeah, but it's locked. We need to find the key.
Some nice tools.
Alright, we got a table saw. If we wanted to cut something.
Christ!
Well, that one's got a power drill mounted on his hand, his arm. That seems like that could be useful. There we go. Take this. Well, our big fisto hand is of no use anymore, so...
Can't believe I'm doing this again.
I don't know, I think it's pretty easily to believe that we're doing this.
That'll do it.
Alright, we've upgraded to drill hand. The drill hand, I don't think can allow us to... I don't think that's going to help us read that comic book. Heard a bang. Yeah, I don't think it's even letting us walk back in that room. The drill will not let us read the comic. The drill will let us get into this box, though. There we go. Alright.
No, 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 no.
Well, that's a problem. Now both of our hands are gone. Well, maybe we could upgrade the left hand to something. But still, it's a little disturbing to know that somehow Woody was able to take our other arm, even though he doesn't seem to be around here anywhere. Does that mean it's only a matter of time before all of Wilson becomes wood? We will see.
Down, old man. Find a way to fix this.
Right in the face. But still, that's who we wanted to see.
Come on, Woody. Fight fair.
He's throwing hatchets. Actually, cleavers, I think. But we got like a little metal drill here to block him with. We can block it with that.
Feel.
Alright, so our left wooden arm actually does have some use. We can use it to block his cleaver. He seems to be enjoying having two functional hands.
Friends, huh?
But we really do need them back. And let's give this one in the dick. Oh, Woody's improving his tricks. He's throwing underhand as well. The underhand ones like start low and raise high. I don't even know how that works.
Give me back my arm.
It's hard to say if we're like getting anything vital. Any vital parts of Woody. Or is it he just all wood in there? Are there even any vital organs? And one in the dick. Gotta give him in the dick. Woody only has a few tricks. He does not have many.
Back to the woodpile, Woody. How does real flesh feel now? Yeah, wave bye-bye, you piece of shit.
Alright, Wilson got his arms back. Also, Woody's face was starting to turn human, so I guess if he had taken more parts, his face would have gotten more detailed. But I mean, you can't blame Woody for wanting better things, but still, we need these human parts. We need them. Alright, we can call the elevator. Unfortunately, we still cannot go in that room. We have our human hands back. We could read that comic book. We could grab it and turn some pages. No. Doesn't... No. Can't do it. The forbidden comic, forever lost to us. Well, let's call the elevator.
Things might actually be starting to look up for once today.
Yeah. Things are starting to go just fine.
Spoke too soon.
Welcome back.
What happened? Shit! Elsa, that monster. It's right there. Watch out!
Monster! Shut your mouth.
It's a killer, Elsa. What are you doing?
You should really watch what you say about my son.
Your son?
Yes. His name is Andrew.
How is this possible? I don't understand.
Wilson. Meet Andy. Andy? This is Wilson. The man who will help give you eternal life.
He didn't grab you to kill you. He was looking for you.
Correct. It took a while, but he finally found me.
Why, Elsa? What is this all about?
Obviously, the device in your chest.
This damn thing. Of course.
It is the key I need to keep Andrew alive. The power supply that keeps his body running is limited and almost completely used up. The device will charge his body permanently.
So you're willing to do anything to get it? Even kill?
Andy, I need you to go over to your special chair now, please. Mommy needs to talk to Mr. Wilson alone.
Why the charade? You've been lying since the beginning.
I needed Harcourt's journal in order to gain the knowledge to build a device for Andrew myself. After months of searching, I finally tracked him down here, residing as a doctor, pretending to care for people. Pathetic.
Why here? Why the hospital?
Just another place to do his research, with everyone turning a blind eye to what he was really up to. Experimenting on innocent people for his own selfish gains. You, Wilson, like Andrew, are just another casualty of his cruelty.
What are you talking about?
Harcourt knew we had found him. He must have finished crafting the device in haste, because that's when all the strange happenings in the hospital began. Even with all his brilliance and extensive research, that one must have surprised him. So, to keep it from me, he put the device in you. It must have been right in the middle of your procedure. The perfect hiding place.
And the hospital becoming possessed? That part of your plan too?
No, of course not. Even after all of the years we researched the supernatural together, we couldn't have expected this. The hauntings? The creatures? All a side effect from creating something that shouldn't even exist. But in the end, I didn't even have to attempt to create it. The fool did it himself.
So he put it in me to hide it from you. That's just great.
A temporary setback. But everything that has happened will be worth it, if it allows Andy to continue living.
Even if that means everyone else has to die?
Yes. As cold-hearted as that sounds. Wouldn't you do anything for the ones that you love, Wilson?
I sure as hell wouldn't let a kid kill someone. Harcourt died from something strong. It wasn't you that killed him. It was Andy, wasn't it?
That wasn't supposed to happen. I sent Andrew to retrieve the journal from Harcourt, but he hid it and must have refused to give it to Andrew. In a rage, he must have lashed out too hard. I couldn't go after him. The hauntings in the hospital began, and we got separated.
You let your son kill an innocent man.
He deserved it, and more. I might not have intended for him to be killed, but it is a far better fate than what he deserved. After what he put us through. What he did to us was unforgivable.
Harcourt was more than an acquaintance. Am I right?
That's correct. Arthur Harcourt was my husband. Brilliant, but only in his mind, not his heart. My son's human body was made unusable, thanks to a drunken outburst one evening from Arthur. Small push down a flight of stairs. That's all it took to ruin the life of an innocent, sweet child. And Arthur? He didn't even care. He left us, conducting more research. Our research.
How did you keep him alive?
I saved Andrew's life by constructing a new body and putting his damaged brain inside of it. But I needed a power source that would energize such intricacy. And Arthur, that son of a bitch, he knew it. But he took the research in his journal that we had discovered together and abandoned us. So if there is a God, Wilson, and any justice in this universe, he is rotting in hell as we speak.
This isn't justice, Elsa. This is lunacy.
Well, if not justice, Wilson, then perhaps good karma will do. Take a look over here. Something you've been searching for, yes?
My heart. It's okay.
That it is. Hidden in Harcourt's office. Andrew was kind enough to bring it back to me. I told you he was a good boy.
Is it safe? How long will it continue to work if it's not in me?
As long as the device functions, so too will your heart continue to beat. But once I remove it from your chest for an extended period of time, the beating will stop, and you will cease to live.
My life may not mean shit to you, but I need that heart to stay in one piece. Elsa, please.
I'm sorry, Wilson. I truly am. It wasn't my intention for things to turn out this way. Please believe that. But Andrew must live, no matter the cost.
Elsa, don't. Your son wouldn't want this if he could understand what you're doing.
Shut up, Wilson. There's nothing you can say that will change my mind. Now, if you'll excuse me, I still have preparations to make before the transfer.
All right. Well, Elsa lays it all out for us. Unfortunately, we can't move because our hands are trapped in the contraption that we're in. But we found our heart. It's right over there.
Wilson.
Thought you were better off on your own.
Yeah, well, I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for me. Let's leave it at that.
Well, it took you long enough.
Yeah, I missed you too.
Where the hell have you been, anyway?
Whatever the hell that ugly-ass monster is, it got me by surprise. I barely got away.
Well, that ugly-ass monster happens to be Elsa's son.
You can't be serious.
Yeah, as crazy as that sounds.
That thing is her son.
Yeah, meet Andy.
Why is she doing all of this?
Later. All that matters right now is that we keep the device in my chest as far away from her as possible. If you would have gotten here a bit quicker, maybe I wouldn't be in this mess in the first place.
Oh, Big Kurt. Thank you so much for coming to save me. How could I ever repay your kindness? No problem, Wilson. A thank you isn't necessary.
You'll get your thank you when you get me out of this crap.
Where's everybody else?
Bela's a no-show. Haven't seen him. Oh yeah, Lucy's a vampire.
That shit is for real.
Wish it was the weirdest thing I'd seen today. Definitely ranks up there.
You know what? Fuck it. I don't want to know.
Are you almost finished? Hurry up before she sees you.
This isn't easy, you know? I'm going as fast as I... No. This is a mistake. I shouldn't have come back.
Kid, keep it down. Now isn't the time to have a nervous breakdown.
Wilson, you have to... I have to get away.
That's the idea, if you haven't caught on by now. How am I supposed to get away? Get away! Okay, kid, you were right and I was wrong. Honest mistake on my end, right?
You! Get away from there!
Oh, Andy grabbed Kurt. He's got him up for the choke slam.
Wilson! Bela, get me the hell out of this thing.
Do not worry. I will get you out of this.
How'd you survive all this craziness?
It is a long story. Now is not the best time to fill you in. Perhaps later, when we are not facing almost certain death.
Bela, we have to stop Elsa. She's trying to use the journal and the device to...
I heard her speaking. I know. Now, conserve your strength. I will have you out of here soon.
Give me the journal. Don't test my patience.
What are you?
Don't you know? I thought you were supposed to be smart.
I knew there was something off with you. Right from the beginning. No matter. I'm ready for you.
Give me your best.
Andy, protect your mother.
That's your hint? He's as annoying as you are. Don't go anywhere, Wilson. I'll be a bit famished after I take care of these fools. You'll be the perfect snack.
Alright, well, looks like Andy won the fight, but he's got a new...
Better hurry this shit up right now.
I know. I am trying.
Yeah, Andy's not doing too well.
Wilson, it
Against
is not in my nature to be impolite, but could you please shut up for 5 seconds and let me figure this out?
Lucy's just too fast, too agile.
No! Andy!
There, it is finished. Wilson, you are free.
Hello, Bela. Charming to see you again.
Hello.
Now, where were we?
Wilson, grab it.
Sorry, Lucy.
Wilson, look. Elsa has left Harcourt's journal unattended.
It has to be destroyed.
Let me help you, Wilson. What do you require of me?
Stay here. It isn't safe. I'm going to go get the journal so we can get the hell out of here.
I will help if I can. Now go before they see you.
Alright, yeah. Elsa is attending to Andy, who is hurt. Before we go up there, I just want to take a look. I want to appreciate this oldie-time mad science lab that we got going on here, because it does look pretty cool. There's also the flux capacitor in that machine for some reason. But I do like this. I do like this lab, this whole setup. Alright, let's get up to the altar. And while we're up here, get a closer look. Yep, that's Andy's chair. Oh, piles of dead nurses. I guess Andy has been looking for Elsa, and he's just been grabbing every woman he has found, and they're not Mom. And that doesn't turn out too well for them, I guess is what's happening here. Well, here's the book. We want to get rid of it? How do we get rid of it? Well, we got some candles up here. It may be magic, but it's still paper.
Wilson, it is working.
Get away from there! You'll ruin everything!
You have to short-circuit his brain. It is the only way to stop him.
Great. Easier said than done.
Alright, Andy's attacking, but we do have this.
Going to overload his electrodes! He won't be able to obey my commands! Andrew! No! I did this for you! What are you doing?
Elsa!
Well, Elsa's gone. It's just down to us and Andy. What do? Well, we have the heart. We try to use it on Andy? Well, he kills us by throwing a nurse at us. This one, we only have, like, very few seconds to work out what to do. It's a very short window. And if we don't figure out what to do, then we see Elsa get thrown out, we see her get defenestrated again.
What are you doing?
Elsa!
No, Elsa. Alright, so the face that we saw when we pulled out the heart, that's the throwing one. And up there...
Pull it now!
Working on it. Nope, wrong way. There's magnetism. Alright, he's stuck.
Now! Shut him down now!
We got his handle.
It's
And there's-
over for both of us, Andy.
Alright, there's the exposed brain. Well, I mean, it's a shame to do it to him, but he's got a very powerful body and is just killing everyone, so... Sorry, Andy.
Welcome back, Wilson.
Yeah, thanks.
So, that was a truly terrifying experience, would you not say?
That's gotta be the understatement of the year. Yeah. What happened to everybody else?
Yes, Elsa and Lucy are both deceased. Elsa's son Andrew is also gone. I tried to save his brain, but its activity ceased once his body became non-functional. One bright spot, however, is that the hospital has been restored back to normal. We are operating at almost full capacity again.
What about that goddamn teddy bear? Is it dead?
No. There is still no teddy bear. Let us perhaps not mention that to the hospital psychologist that may want to speak to you later on, all right?
And Kurt?
Mr. Mosby is missing. There is no sign of him. Local law enforcement are still looking for his body.
What happened to the device? Did you destroy it?
After the fires were put out in the laboratory, I searched everywhere for it, but it was gone. Hopefully it was destroyed in the explosion, but Wilson, I do not know for sure.
Well, if it hasn't, that could spell trouble for whoever finds it.
We will deal with it, Wilson, I promise. But for now, take a moment to enjoy that your heart has been put back in its rightful place. Your chest. The procedure was a complete success. Your recovery should go very smoothly.
Yeah, about that. Look, Bela, I'm having my heart taken out again.
What are you talking about? When?
Right now, actually. When I woke up earlier, I asked one of the nurses to bring you here. I wanted to tell you myself.
After everything you have been through to retrieve your heart, why?
He stops talking at this point, and we have to notice... Oh, there's this curtain to our right. Let's pull it open.
You see that guy over there?
Yes, and?
His name is William. William Herman Wilson. My brother.
It is lovely that you have a brother, Wilson, but I still do not understand what this has to do with removing your heart.
Bela, I wasn't supposed to wake up, meet you, or any of the others. I volunteered for the surgery so that this heart could replace my brother's damaged one.
What is wrong with him? Do you know?
Some type of coronary disease. It hit him hard and fast. He and his wife knew that there wasn't a lot of time left. His only chance was to try a radical new surgery, the first of its kind. A heart transplant.
I understand wanting to save someone you love and care about. Please believe me when I say that. But do you really think this is the best option? Is there not another way?
There's a bright 10-year-old little girl waiting in the other room that doesn't want to grow up without her father. That's all that matters. There's nothing else to think about.
And your brother? He is content with this? Allowing you to give your life for his?
No. He wouldn't have gone through with it if he knew what I was... It was the only way.
I see.
Listen, I know that we just met. But if he ever found out where his new heart came from, it would... Do you think you could... I mean, would you?
I will take care of it. You have my word.
Thank you.
If I am to do you this favor, there is something I must know.
Name it.
Did you think I was the vampire? Attacking the people that Lucy murdered?
Hell yes, I did. Have you looked in the mirror lately?
I would not know. I do not cast a reflection.
Yeah.
It has been an honor, Robert.
Goodbye, Bela.
He called us Robert, so I believe that's the first time we've heard Wilson's first name.
Hell of a day, yes?
Yeah. Hell of a day.
Nurse, please make sure he is as comfortable as possible, whatever he needs.
Yes, of course, Doctor. Mr. Wilson, the doctor is ready to move forward with the procedure. It's time. Are you ready?
Yeah. I'm ready.
All right, let's put our face on inside.
And try to relax.
Get just, there we go.
It won't take long.
No, it doesn't. And that is the end of Wilson's Heart. I guess you could say a cinematic puzzle horror game with light combat. I like this quite a bit. I enjoyed the tone it was going for, as when you're looking at horror games, there's certain things that get referenced quite often, certain previous horror games or horror movies that get a lot of reference. Old-time Universal monster movies generally is not one of them. That's not something you usually see. So I greatly enjoyed just the whole thing. I thought that it was greatly varied. A lot of different things coming at you throughout the game, different areas. Some of those things, genuinely horrifying, like the bit with the wood puppets when your human parts are being taken by something else. I think that is a very creepy idea. The characters I enjoyed. The little twist where they clearly want you to think Bella's the vampire, but it was Lucy. The big monster fight at the end. And, Kurt's werewolf form was pretty cool. It's just, it turns out that he was not strong enough to face the 5-year-old Frankenstein. I mentioned at the beginning that the controls of the game are kind of clunky. I found I had a much easier time going through it this time round than the first time some years back. I don't really know why that is. I just found like the game controlled a lot smoother this time. Again, I don't know if that has to do with the hardware or what. I didn't have too much trouble. And of course, here's our voice cast. Clearly, they spent some money to get some screen actors for this. That's the actress for Lucy, by the way. I don't think I'm familiar with anything else she's in. And I did like the twist at the end where you find out why Wilson was in the hospital. You know, a bit of a touching ending there. And I do like that they played the ending straight instead of having some sort of horror twist right at the end, like maybe the teddy bear showing up again. I liked the slower, more, bit more emotional ending that they had to this whole thing. So, the story, I guess, was Harcourt was investigating the occult and was building this weird orb and was researching that with his wife Elsa. But Harcourt was a horrible person and horrible family man and abused Andy, ending up pushing him down the stairs, almost killing him, and then Elsa had to create a new body for him, which is I suppose that's what that newspaper article about someone robbing the hospital of equipment. I guess that's probably what that was about. She was stealing equipment to put together his Frankenstein's body. She demanded help from Arthur, but Arthur did not want to help because he does not care about his family. When Arthur realized that Elsa was here to get the orb, he hid it in Wilson's chest during the heart surgery. And the creation of, I guess the activation of the heart was the thing that caused the haunting of the hospital. And then Wilson wakes up and we take it from there. In memory of an actual Wilson, though I don't know who that Wilson is. And we find ourselves at a graveyard. Robert Wilson. And Evelyn Wilson. Wilson did mention he was married. According to this, his wife died 2 years prior. So it looks like Wilson didn't really have anyone in his life. His wife died. He implied that they had never had a child. So I guess this is why Wilson felt that it was for the best for him to give up his life for his brother, who did have a family. But if Wilson's dead, who are we right now? Well, Bella did say that Kurt was nowhere to be found in the end. And it looks like he's come here to visit Wilson's grave.
Oh, Mr. Mosby, I presume?
Yeah, that's me.
Good. Very good. Lovely this time of year. The air has a certain crispness to it. Something about that. Brilliant.
So, you do exist.
Of course, my boy. You did contact us, after all, did you not?
I mean, yeah.
Now that we are both familiar with each other, let's get down to it. Do you have the object?
Yeah, I got it.
Do show Mr. Mosby.
Hey, just don't be so damn pushy.
Well, Kurt's inventory opens, and it turns out he took the ball. There are 2 incomplete faces on the ball, so Wilson never actually completed the entire thing. Never got the full power of the ball. But looks like Kurt took it, and he's handing it over to whoever this is.
Incredible. And what of the journal?
It's destroyed. Wilson wanted to make sure it never got
Yes, Wilson. The man who used this. I am sorry that he didn't make it.
Yeah, that makes two of us.
Well, without Harcourt's journal, this will definitely prove more difficult to crack. But not impossible.
So how long before you figure that thing out and help me with my problem?
You'll need patience, my boy. This is the most complex device the world has ever known. It will take time.
Yeah, well, time isn't exactly something on my side.
A good point. I believe the moon is to be full tomorrow night. You do have somewhere to put yourself, I would hope.
Look, man, it's like I told your people, or whoever they are. This is the first time I haven't killed anyone. I lock myself up and everybody's safe from me.
Good. Good for you. I've been after your kind for a long time, son, as well as others. And believe me when I tell you that a night will come when you don't have a safe place, and there is nowhere to hide. You will kill again. Believe me.
Is this a joke? You and your group, or your order, or whatever the hell you call them, were supposed to help me. We had a deal.
Well, that is the goal, yes? That is all, Mr. Mosby. Thank you for your time. We will certainly do our best.
And that's it? How am I supposed to find you?
Not to worry, son. We'll find you. Good day.
Yeah, great.
Oh, and Mr. Mosby, do keep your nightly activities from becoming local news. We will be watching. Such lovely weather.
Right, and so we had a little stinger at the end. So Kurt survived, and he took the ball with him. That's why Bella was not able to find it, and he gave it to someone, some group, who said that they might be able to help him, Kurt cure his lycanthropy. But they don't have a cure for it now. They're working on it, and maybe they can use the ball to make that happen, though it doesn't sound like it's going to happen anytime soon. As to who that person was, I don't know. The only hint or clue that I think we've been given was in the comic book that talked about Lucy's origin. It mentioned an ancient, vampire family that turned Lucy into a vampire, but now wanted to kill her. And that Lucy has been running from them for 200 years. I don't know if that's who that was supposed to be, but as far as any sort of ancient supernatural order, I don't think that's the only thing I can think of that was mentioned. It also mentioned that Harcourt did go to them to learn about their secrets and use that information to make the ball. So maybe that is who that person was. Maybe he's from that family. I don't know if that was meant to be a stinger for a sequel, like a teaser or anything like that. There was no sequel to this, and this was 7 years ago, so, I mean, there's not gonna be. So I don't know if they meant for that to lead into anything or not. But we do get a little bit of extra information about what happened to Kurt afterwards. Something I was wondering is, when we read about Kurt's origin, it said that the circus had burned down when Kurt was in werewolf form, and he didn't know who did it or why. I kind of wondered if maybe that order did it to kill off the circus and get Kurt out of there, to send Kurt to the hospital. There's nothing really in the game that states that, but I figured they would be the only suspects as to who burned down the circus. Don't know who else it could have been. But yeah, I mentioned the story leading up to the beginning of Wilson's heart, and, we all know what happened after that. Wilson woke up, he started fighting the living darkness and a teddy bear. As for what the teddy bear was, I mentioned that the teddy bear seemed to be taking things more personally than the other monsters, and no one else seemed to know, no one else was acknowledging the teddy bear. Kurt didn't know what he was talking about at the beginning, and Bella didn't know what he was talking about at the end, so I guess only Wilson had contacted the teddy bear, aside from the nurses that the teddy bear killed. So I'm wondering if maybe the teddy bear is like Wilson's personal monster. Like, is the teddy bear Wilson's pyramid head? Like, maybe that's what that's supposed to be? I might assume that's what's going on there. It doesn't seem like the others have personal demons, but maybe Wilson did. And of course, Wilson keeping a secret as to why he was at the hospital. It was to, well, sacrifice himself to give his heart to his brother. Because Wilson decided that was the best way to go, because his brother had a family and a future, and Wilson did not. So, and of course, our other characters, Lucy was a vampire who felt like the orb would be able to, I don't know, make her older. It seemed like that was her goal. She didn't want to be a kid anymore and felt that the orb would be able to do this. And Bella was just a doctor. In the end, Bella was not as far as we know, Bella was not supernatural. He makes a little joke at the end about not having a reflection, which I assume is a joke. But no, he was just a doctor the whole time. He was the only one who didn't have any supernatural connections to any of this. Well, that's Wilson's Heart. Like I said, I enjoyed it quite a bit. There's only one thing I don't quite like about it, is that the first time I played through it, it was a little difficult to do some of the things, because the way this game works is that to advance you can only really do one thing, and if the one thing you're doing doesn't seem to be working, then there's kind of nothing else. And if it works fine, it works fine, but sometimes it just doesn't seem to work fine. Like one part where I was hitting the buttons in the elevator to escape Woody. You have to, like, slap your hand over all of the buttons to get it to work. If you're just poking the buttons, it doesn't work, and it took me a while to figure that out. Or at the beginning, when you had to use 2 hands instead of 1 to move something, and the game really never says that. It's just supposed to be, like, a common sense thing you try. Something like that can be frustrating. Or having problems with accuracy when throwing the ball can be very frustrating when fighting the creatures from the Black Lagoon. But I guess what I'm saying is that when the game goes smoothly, it's very fun, it's very entertaining, but there can be very frustrating parts where you have to do one specific thing, and you just don't know what it is you're doing wrong. But overall, I like the game quite a bit. And it's something different, I think, as far as horror games go. Again, a lot of horror games take reference from certain things like Resident Evil, Silent Hill, or especially PT. And seeing a game that takes reference from a completely different source of material and does something pretty good with it, I liked quite a bit. So, that's Wilson's Heart. That has been some VR horror from 7 years ago from Twisted Pixel. And as far as I know, they didn't make anything else like this after that, which is a shame, as I'm always interested in seeing some more horror, especially if it could come from the people who made this, but I don't believe there has been anything since then. This has been Wilson's Heart, VR horror from the Oculus Rift library on the PC.